Midnight lights go pop. Teemuth hits the drop. One host, one big vibe. Chat scrolls, hearts on fire. Drop your track, click send. Let the tea spill blend. Spill, sip, spin again. Midnight tea, talk there with me. Play a song, sing along, spill that tea all night long. They take Teemuth. Hey, spill that tea. Hey, quiz beats, guess the key. Guest bars VIP. Loop stretch scores was ice. Twitch raid surprise. One man full room sound. Midnight world inbound. Midnight tea. Midnight tea. Talk there with me. Play your song, sing along, spill that tea all night long. You take 3, 2, 1. Let's go! Teemuth. Teemuth.
Yo, everybody, welcome to another section of Midnight Tea with yours only, of course, me, Teemuth. What's going on, chat? How's it going? First of all, I always like to do a sound check. How's the mic sounding? Hey, Rest to be. Hey, everybody who joined today. I know you all joined because of me, but that's okay. Nothing special going on today. Yeah, midday. Well, it can be midnight somewhere, you know, if that makes sense. Yeah, I got a little lesser beer than Seb, of course. But that's okay. Anyway, I really appreciate all you joining today. This out of the blue kind of stream. But it's a special one, though, because you all know that SSC, which is the Suno Song Contest, ended like a week or so ago. And it was super cool. Great ending. A lot of vibes. A lot of dancing all around. Some crying. Some people were mad, but that's okay. That's perks of a competition. But for today, we created a special segment where I'll be hosting a Ask Me Anything session with the SSC committees. So this is a great place where if you have any questions or any feedback or of course any concerns, you'll be more than happy to ask it here. And then either myself, not mostly me because I prefer to kick those questions out, you know. I'm just host. Just joking. And myself or the community members can go ahead and answer those questions and leave everything cleared out, you know? Of course, if you haven't asked any questions, we did put out a link on the SSC server. But if you haven't followed up, I just dropped the link again. So where there you can leave any questions. Upvote if you want them primarily asked first and go from there. I do gotta say, I won't be doing this alone. I got fine people on the background helping me out. I do gotta advise, once I move to that screen, you may see some things floating around, so I gotta troubleshoot on the spot. But hey, that's the perks of technology, right? So without further ado, let me change to that screen so I can choose the members. Hey, what's going on, Itai and Seb?
Woohoo! Hello,
And then,
everyone.
hey,
Hey.
you'll know our greatest host of SSC, which is Seb, which is down. And then we got Itai, which is the notorious dancer of all the tracks that you guys play, you know? So, and then we got one screen that is still served for Hog, but he's going to join a little bit later. And then we got on voice only, we got Pantera and Dacer and Dalsoran. I don't know how to spell it, sorry, bro. So don't kill me. And
Hey, hello everyone.
yeah. So if you want to
Hello.
if you want to say hi first, and then I'll get more further instructions to the people.
Hello. Dazer is fine, Teemuth.
I wasn't sure. Sometimes I struggle with words in English, so apologies, brother. But yeah, we are here. We are linked up as a committee. I'm gonna go see the questions. I'm gonna post the question on the chat too, so people know what we're talking about, and then I'll ask one of the members to kind of like give their answers, and then of course, community members. I'm not gonna put you on the spot. If you don't know the answer, you can call one of your members to help you out too. You know, it's not like a one-shot thing. So,
Do we get points if we answer correctly?
maybe, but I haven't developed that far still in the game. You know, so.
Can we rank the questions on like the answers on like A, B, C, D, and S?
No,
That would
bro. That's too easy because probably what you're gonna do is just gonna answer C because you got that's the 33% chance that it's C. You know, so no. We don't roll with that here, brother. This is the midnight tea. This is not SSC. You know. Anyway, like seeing the chat. Chat, of course. If you are too timid or you don't know how to use the webpage, you can also ask questions on the chat. I'll be monitoring those as well. But let's just go ahead and have some fun and just have enjoyable conversations of a great incentive, which is the SSC, you know? So, one of the first question that I got here, which I saw that it was upvoted 6 times, so it was pretty popular, is, Seb, I'm going to ask you this one. SSC8, when?
well. Honestly, we haven't set a new date yet. So that's the honest answer is there is no new date yet. To curve expectations a bit, the earliest date that I can see coming is after the holidays. After Christmas and New Year's. I think that would be sort of the earliest opportunity that we would have to just set those expectations a bit. Before that, it will probably not happen. At least that's my expectation of it. And that might also be a good thing to say, that we are all here on stream together today. We'll be answering questions, but we will be answering these questions as just people, not as a whole committee. So anything we say, just opinions. It is what it is. You will hear probably people have different opinions too. It's completely fine. So don't expect any conclusive thing there. But I think the earliest would be in January, honestly.
Yeah, people, I also want to say, because I was a little bit on the back end of all these SSC stuff, this is not easy. There's a lot of data entry that we need to do, a lot of calculations, a lot of, let's say, quality control, because, hey, we live in the glow age where there's a lot of bots, a lot of stuff that people try to trick. So there's a lot of checks that we need to do. And the people doing this is only us, you know. We're not robots, so we also got some real life, and we do this as a volunteer, and we just do it because we love what this AI music stuff can do, and what a better way to share it with y'all in something like a contest, which is a friendly contest, you know. So that's why it takes time, and then this takes time again to do all this, and then we also want to take some time with our families and have a real life too, you know. We want to do the best of both worlds, so we gotta compromise a little bit in the middle to kind of give us a little bit of time. So hopefully that question is answered and nobody is angry
Yeah, and on top of that, I do want to say, like, aside from Suno Song Contest, I think we want to do so many more
Yeah.
other initiatives in the coming period. So if we would just do Suno Song Contest continuously, like, I think we would be missing out on a lot of other cool stuff that we also want to be doing and pushing and trying. So yeah, that's why it's a fair thing to say. Let's make sure that we don't overdo it.
Yeah. Yeah, and also
Yeah.
we don't want to overwhelm ourselves or kind of get to the point where we're burnt out and we just don't want to do this, you know? And then also, there's a couple new tools that are coming and each new AI music stuff that we're doing. So sometimes it's just better to wait a little bit, get those tools out so we can refine better the songs and then even make it even more harder for us to vote and for y'all to vote on the next contest, you know? So that's the whole storyline behind that. Now, my next question will be appointed to Itai. And this is, that first question was done by Taupe Oxalot, something like that. So, sorry if I misspelled the name. I suck at spelling.
Probably anonymous, some of
Yeah.
the questions. So
Yeah, and then this one is for, this is not anonymous. This was from Abel, which we all know Abel. He's a great artist.
hey,
Itai, he mentions that, let me copy the question first on the chat so people know what I'm saying. He's saying that track save week was confusing. It seemed like we were voting for two different things on the same form. First, for which song should be heard, and then for which song should progress from the week. But we weren't allowed to change our votes during the week. So if somebody voted 40% of the songs to be heard, that also ended up being the final vote for progression. Do you plan to change this for future events?
yeah, great question. Thanks, Abel, for participating, for asking and everything. You know, track save week we did for the first time in this SSC, and there was a whole lot of, you know, reasons behind it because we got 400 songs submitted at the beginning of the season, and we didn't quite know how to handle so many songs, right? And so we started with the bunk weeks that we had at the beginning, and from there the songs that made it to showcase, and then we were left with a lot of other songs that didn't make it, and we wanted to create some way for them to be able to still participate in the competition. And you know, we tried what we could. It's hard to listen to so many songs in like a 1 week, and so we did this thing where we played every single song. We played like a snippet of all the songs still during the track save week, and then we wanted to give some songs the opportunity to be played, and so we had a very quick vote in order to do that and give some songs opportunity to be played in full. And so yes, I understand how that was confusing because it was the same vote and the same voting, and we use it later. And I'm not even sure if we made it possible or we made it impossible to change your votes because we sort of went back and forth on it during that week. But it's the point is we were trying something. The point is, like, can we get as much exposure as we can to the songs, to listen to as many artists as possible, as many songs as possible, and give us the as much chance as possible for people to be heard and everything. And we did get songs from Track Save Week that made it to second chance and to finals and everything, right? So I think at least we tried our best at that point. And are we going to do it differently next time? Probably. We don't even know how many songs to expect next time. So if it's 400, right? But what happens if it's 800 or if it's like more than 1,000? So we need to think about different ways to handle that. And so I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're always going to be in favor of having as many people heard, giving as much exposure as possible to everybody who participates and contributes their songs to SSC, and just getting together in the best and most fun ways that we can to celebrate all the music.
That was a great answer, Itai. Hopefully that satisfies you a little bit, Abel. Remember, this is the first time that we got so much volume, so even us as community members, we try ways and then we learn from that and we make ways to improve, so hopefully that helps. And then my next question will be again from Abel. Abel was super active in this MAA, which I loved it. I'm gonna I'm gonna appoint this question to Dasern or Dasern, if, for example, there are 600 or 800 entries, will the number of songs that get into the showcase weeks and finals change?
Well, that's a tough question. Because, in my opinion, it covers a lot of points inside the SSC system. Mostly, the first one is our time.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of things happening for 400 songs behind the scenes. And the second point is, as Ite was saying for the tracks a week, is okay, we can, but showcase is not only the main important aspect in SSC. So I think we will stick probably to the same numbers, because 2 streams per week, the numbers are this. Once we maybe in the future can happen to give SSC more time of our time, maybe we can try to increase the showcase weeks. Having multiple streams during the week, more than 2, we can hear more songs, which means showcase week bigger. So it's just for the future. We don't really know actually.
Yeah.
But the aim is this, in my opinion,
Yeah.
for the SSC.
Yeah, that makes sense. And thank you for answering this. I guess it's
No
time.
problem.
I guess it's when we get that amount of volume that will determine what we can do, because it's kind of hard to predict, because you saw how much we tried to play with 400 songs. Imagine it's a double, So we gotta find ways to be a little bit more slick and see how can we make people may have their song exposed, But we won't know until we get there. So it's just like I like to say, one of my favorite sayings in life is, we'll play it by ear when we get there,
Can I chime in for a bit?
Yeah,
I
of
don't know
course.
if that's
Of
okay.
course, bro.
But I think that what happens is that the format, will have to change when we get to 1,000 songs. That's just the case. Like, if we get to certain numbers, we have to do things differently, and we have to think about what is the best way to do this. I think Bunk Week was a great example of doing this, like taking into a bigger amount of songs and then just thinking about I'm gone. But just thinking about how to do this well, and thinking about how to make sure that still everyone's songs gets heard at least by a group of people. I think that was what we tried to do with Bunk Week. That happened. We had a lot of nice listening parties and things around that. So once we get to 1,000 songs, we'll still want to make sure that everyone's song get listened to and get some feedback. So I think what will happen probably in my mind is more things start happening at the same time. We'll need more streamers. We'll need to figure out how to break schedules and sort of think about these things in new and interesting ways. But I think that we will find ways that will always come back to the same thing that we are trying to do, which is make sure, when you enter this competition, your song is heard, is discussed with a group of people, and gets some attention. I think that is our main goal, talking about that.
Yeah, I think, and I'm sorry folks if you're seeing that I'm troubleshooting on the spot. Unfortunately, I got a wild hog that joined the Discord, and then it autofocus all the people in the camera, so I'll fix that in a moment. But we can continue talking about this topic while we do this. I do agree with your point, Seb. If we continue to get this crazy amount of songs, which I don't expect going any less, I expect quite the opposite. We definitely have to find a way to kind of change a little bit the flow, how we gonna be listening to the songs and how we gonna expose them, because of course, in general, in my AI experience, people just want to be heard and just chill and have a good time with tunes, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to chim that out. And people, don't forget, this is also just to have fun and just vibe. I'm a vibes guy, so I'm all about the vibes, you know. So I don't know if you want to add something else, Itai. Want to finish fixing up Seb
I
now?
want to say hello to Hog. Hi, Hog. Welcome.
Hey, Hog.
Hi there, thank you for
Hi,
having
Hog.
me.
Of course.
Sorry I'm a bit late.
Nah,
Got a surprise visit by my parents.
that's okay. Hey, parents are important.
Did you hide everything?
Luckily, they did not come up to my flat, but we only did visit a restaurant.
That's awesome. So yeah, so now I fixed everything. So all our handsome gentlemen are in camera now, how it's supposed to be. So hey, I'm happy. Now, Hawk, since you got here, I'm gonna put you on the spot for my next question. How I'm doing it is I'm putting the question on the chat, and then I'm asking the question and I'm pointing to one community member. Seb, Itai, Dasser just had their first chance. So since you got here late, now it's your turn, buddy. So give me a minute.
Okay.
The question is from Abel. Abel has been really active in this area, which I'm loving it. The question will be, how do you plan to change the challenges part of the competition in the future? Perhaps hosting it before the main contest?
Yeah, we have talked about it, and there are several things we're actually discussing about that. One of the ideas has been to make the challenges more or less in between the SSCs, and so to have a challenge week here and then a challenge week later for different stuff, and then to judge those with real judges, not just yeah, we like that, but to really go into there and point out, hey, we think this song is really special, this really captured the essence of the challenge we posted, and maybe bring this up then in the next SSC. But as said, it's just one of the things we're actually discussing right now. So there's nothing fixed to that.
Yeah, and we're probably gonna do hybrids and kind of like do test scenarios and see how it goes. One of the good things is now I'm also streaming and Hog also streams, so we can probably have any side streams and we can include all those challenges songs, which they're fun, you know. So I think one of the good things in progress, and I mean in general, like for example, I'm streaming, Hog is about to stream soon enough. That with that it creates more opportunities, you know, and having more opportunities, we can find ways to include all those challenges songs and make people be more heard, you know. If that makes sense.
Exactly. The challenges are all about fun, and they're a way to keep people engaged throughout the SSC, because as you have seen with SSC7, it was long, really long.
Yep.
So with challenges in between, we try to keep the engagement up. But I also can understand the people that think, hey, man, I posted songs for the challenge, and when you only do some random draw there, it's not fair, because I really put in some time and worked on it.
Yeah.
And I want my song to be judged in a kind of way. I can see that point, and I also like it because we all have some sort of competitive spirit in us.
Of course.
And so when you then see, hey, my song did end up in the top bunch of this challenge, that makes you feel good.
100%.
But it also can have the reverse effect with the songs that do not end up in the top bunch.
Yeah, I think at the end, everybody here, including ourselves as community members, we got a competitive edge, you know. We just want to be heard somewhere. I don't know, feel like a competition. But what I would advise everybody, always think to have a healthy competition kind of sense, you know. And Seb, I'll leave it to you because I know you want to say something more.
Well, I just wanted to mention what Matteo was saying. I kind of like looking into it. I don't know how easy that would be, but I like the idea of when we're doing challenge songs, like if you're in the stream, that you somehow get some priority. So if you're there to listen
100%.
together with us, I do like that idea because you are sort of actively participating. You're there, you're having fun. Like I have no clue how much that is within our perspective of like possibility and how much everyone would like it and what all the sort of edge cases of that would be. But I do like the idea that it sets up, where it's like if you are more interactive, you are more like a part of this community, you're sort of like actively participating. It is also more fun to play someone's song who is just there, to be honest. Like that's also a case, but the other side of it is there are people from Asia that would always sort of fall out of the boat in that case, unless we find an Asian streamer who can stream in like those hours so that we can find some way to do it. So, but I just wanted to say, like, when I see those concepts go by, at least for me, I make mental notes going, oh, I like that, and I put it down in a document going, hey, let's see if that's a possibility. Like, I don't know.
And to be honest, I don't disagree with that. I think it's fair. If people are there sharing their time, I don't see it as a problem to play their songs first. It's not that we're gonna omit the ones that are not there, but if people are there, well, just give them a chance to be heard because I know from my experience as listening to streams that whenever my song doesn't keep up or play, it's like, well, bummer. It's like, oh, I gotta sit through 3 hours again, not listen to my song. So we can probably work with our brilliant team and find a way to kind of flag that between streams or whatever, and we'll figure out a way. But I love that idea, Seth. There's a question here that I'm going to ask to Pantera now. That's from the chat. It's not on the. That I think is super cool. What do you think about using the challenges to qualify?
That sounds interesting, but I don't know if it would be doable. I don't know. So many challenge. I think there were as much challenge songs as entries in the SSC7. Hotpot, I think you counted them. They were almost 400, I think. I'm
Yeah,
quite
I
sure.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would mean we have 800 songs to judge go through. I don't know. We need more team members.
Yeah, no. My opinion will be, and again, this is my opinion. I don't think it will be fair to qualify based on challenge songs. This is afterwards for the people that submitted their song with a time on joining the competition. You know, but that's just my opinion. I don't know if Sabby, Ty, Hog, or even Dasman had different opinions on that.
And because I don't think a lot of people know this, but like challenges sort of entered this competition in a certain way. Like it was indeed something to keep the activity going of all this group of people, because like these competitions are long and you want to have fun. But it was also something that would allow people who saw the competition too late, or that sort of were like, oh, I cannot enter anymore, have the room to still in some form participate in the whole. And like have a small sense of, hey, I'm still a part of this group. I'm still a part of this special event that's going on. So it serves multiple purposes, I would say. Indeed, the idea was always to just have it as fun. But what we see very often, indeed, is the fact that people do want to compete and do want to have sort of ratings or judgment or like whatever along those lines. But it was never the intention, at least. It was more about just having fun together and doing group activities and just being like together with the group and allowing people to join in that are late and late to that party.
Yep, I agree. Great answer, Seth. I'm gonna continue. I saw a question by Quadrico on the chat, so I'm gonna take one from the MAA and then we'll go with that question because I don't want to lose track of the main goal with what the question that we already posted. So everybody answer. So we're gonna start the clock again. So Itai, since Seb has talked for a few, let me include you on this question. Would it be possible? Of course, I forgot. Let me post a question first on the chat, and this is by it's user it's me Grammy. Would it be possible to include clinics about Suno and how to improve or learn something new?
Yeah, great question. Hi, Grammy. Hi, Rose. Yeah, here's how I think about it. SSC has a lot of different ways in which we engage with people, right? It's not just about submitting your song and leaving and going away. We get together and we listen, and you get to see your song heard. You get to see your song being commented on by a lot of different artists, and then we have challenges, and we have all sorts of different ways to participate. We had the fan art this year. We had a bunch of other things that came by, right? I do, I remember my first SSC where when I joined, I think it was SSC3, and I heard so many songs. I'm like, wow, that song is so great. What makes it so great? Like the inspiration and looking at the song and the structure of the song. Is it the lyrics? Is it the rhyming, etc.? And got to meet friends through that, and then do collabs together and learn from them how they think about making songs. So I think absolutely it's one of the things that just sort of can happen naturally if you take the time to look at other people's songs and listen to that. But to the question specifically here, are we ever going to do clinics? I think in general, if like SSC is about different ways to engage with the music, then learning how to make music, different styles, different ideas, and whatever is absolutely part of that. So I think it's a very interesting idea. How do we bring it in and whatever? I think it's we can think about different ways to do it.
Yeah.
And I will mention one other thing that's sort of outside SSC a little bit, and Hog and Seb talked about it a bit earlier too, right? So SSC itself, between SSC7 and SSC8, is sort of taking a break in terms of like the official SSC, but there's so many things happening all around the community, so many different challenges, so many different communities and discords that are happening, etc. And we would love to encourage everybody that enjoyed SSC to participate in more of those. The streams like your stream, Teemuth, right? And just this past week, you had this fantastic all sorts of streams with a True Rock Alliance, which was like a rock band pub experience. Yesterday, you had a stream in Spanish, which was like visiting a completely different country for me. It was amazing, and there's so many of these communities and opportunities for people to get engaged. So I would say one is, yes, we're going to continue to look for ways for people within SSC to engage and find fun ways and different ways to make friendships, connect, learn, share music, create music, etc. But also, I would like to encourage everybody here and that's going to watch this later to go and find those opportunities for yourself around the community. We're going to try and help with that by sharing some more information about communities, challenges, events, regular streams that are coming up, that are happening, etc. So stay tuned. In our SSC server, we're gonna share some more info about that, and we'll see. Maybe some of these ideas will be amazing and bring them into SSC. Maybe others will happen outside of SSC. But this overall community is just so bubbling with creativity that I have no doubt there are opportunities for everything.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Teemuth,
No,
if
no.
I can add something to this point.
Of course,
I don't know
brother.
if Grammy was participating in size SSC7, but if you did, you have a bunk of 40 people, so you can ask them help with where you're struggling on. They're a bunk of friends, so just ask them what's your problem or if what you want to learn. I think people will try to help you. That's the main scope of bunks and why we still have kept them on the server. So while you're waiting for our news on the Itai mentioned communities activities, you can still try this way.
Yep, I agree. Remember, we are here to help out and find ways also to include the community. So now I don't want to sound bad. So not everything has to surround by SSC. Most of the stuff, of course, why not, But there's a lot of we're trying to get together with other communities so we can create this activeness, because at the end, it's us against the world, you know. So let's support ourselves as a community in AI music and just spread the wealth a little bit all around, you know, if that makes sense. Like Itai say, my native language is Spanish, so why not try a Spanish stream and see how it goes? You know, try different lands and find ways to better collaborate. You know, I don't see this as something negative, or I don't see like trying to collaborate like I'm undermining myself. It's the opposite. We're making this grow. There's a new technology, and I'm looking forward for all the collabs. Like me and Seb, we're probably gonna collab something soon. Like Itai, myself, we're gonna collab something soon. Same with Hog, you know. So just keep in communication, and of course, if you have any questions or anything, hey, I'm a DM away. I don't bite people. I think I'm pretty relatively nice, you know. So just keep
Just
it
in a sexy way, right?
I know, right? Of course. Oh gosh, you're gonna make me blush. I'm joking. Anyway, but yeah, I just want to point that out. Now,
Yeah, I would love to add something because Sebastian and me, we talked about that more than a half year earlier than this. Because inline prompts and style prompts are always only half the work you have to do to make a song. So even when people show their prompting style and all that, it's just still all a game of probability with LLMs, so AIs,
yeah,
as they are far and wide known. But Sebastian and me, we talked about that in the past, that we would love to do a schooling stream more or less, so where we show off how to create a song and how to make it, how to adapt when Suno just doesn't recognize your promptings or something like that.
how can you say that, Hog? Suno recognizes everything. Come on, bro.
Yeah, Suno recognizes everything and just says, no, I don't want to. And so I think that's really a possibility, but maybe this kind of stuff doesn't happen under the umbrella of the SSC. But aside
Yeah.
from
And I also think that it's up to, because I think this is the thing that I would love to say, is that I see a lot of people do a lot of different things very awesomely. So there's a community here of people who all have sort of different things that they all do amazingly well. And it would be so cool to see that sort of things like just happen. Like send a message to Teemuth, send a message to me, send a message to someone else and say, hey, I happen to know a lot about lyric writing, or I happen to have a lot of ideas on how to do persona stuff, or how to do this stuff. Send us a message and say, hey, I'd love to do a lesson on this, and let's get that thing rolling. I really love to see this community as a whole sort of take like action into their hands and go, hey, this is something I really love and enjoy and think is awesome. Let's run with it and let's create cool stuff out of it. Like, I think we have all the opportunity for it. And so please, like, we will definitely, like, Hog and I've been talking about this in terms of doing style prompting. I've talked with like several people that I really respect who write lyrics to do a round table about like lyrics and stuff, but I hope that more of that stuff also starts coming from like the community itself, like going, oh, let's organize this thing. Who do we need for that? Let's pull some people together. We have all these cool groups and people. Go for it. Like, there is no limit to whatever we can achieve as groups.
I agree. And now, Seb, since you're on mute, since you were the most that stay in streams, this question really is the perfect for you. And I gotta write it first on the chat. This one is from Eric Dumb Octopus. That's his user that I use. Which artists who hadn't participated in any previous SSC edition were the biggest surprises you discover through participating in this contest?
Well, I'm gonna bite my my own, like, myself, because like it's gonna be very hard for me to exactly know who did or did not participate previously, because I listened in between SSCs. I do a lot of streams too, and I've listened to a lot of different music too. So I don't exactly know which people all did not participate before, but I do keep a list where I go, okay, so this is someone I really loved and I want to check out more of. So there were so many of those, by the way, this time around, where it was like crazy. But just to name a few, I think
No pressure.
oh man, like, I don't want to miss people. This is very high pressure. No, but I really loved like all the TRA members. Of course, I think most of them competed for the first time this time around, which was really fun for me to listen to those tracks. But Pegasus was a real surprise to me. I've never heard a track by Pegasus before, and I was really happy. Drew Relation was really cool. SAS Slayer had a track that was just like, still have that in the back of my mind. Judge 555, I don't know if he participated before, honestly, but the track that he made this time, which was like really dancey and vibey, was really cool. I'm gonna rattle off some names quickly. Totally Fine, Astra Rocket, Tomness. Tomness track was good. I don't know if Eki entered before, but Aquirtus track was great. Yuki, Insane, Winishred, Tense Trombone, Bogey 5 Wise. Bax and Erlin made me cry several times, so there's that. Like, I will say, Left Hand Tree was great, Symbiosis music was great. Yeah, man, there was like there was a load of new artists for me. Like, when you list, like, if you take that list, I don't think the Left Hand Tree was new to me and Equator was new to me, but it's, aside from those, like, there were like loads of them that were just new, like just people I hadn't listened to in full before and that I noticed right now, and that I went, oh, this track is so good, I need to listen to more of their tracks, because it's just like, it's a great competition to get to know people and get to know their music, and it made me very, very excited. Like Melody and Grace is a great example too. There's also people like the other way around, that like for instance, Grammy and Elizabeth Rose and Melody and Grace. Like, I feel I got to know those people, and Emma. Like, I got to know the people that I really love and enjoy talking to and hanging around with. Like, so it's really like I couldn't name all the people. That's the thing. Like, it's so much.
No, but to be honest, Seth, you mentioned a lot of people. So, man,
and I still feel like, but I still feel that I missed important.
May God bless your mind that you remind all those names, brother. Like, my props to you, you know. So, of course, this was the question destined for you, you know. So, thank you so much for that knowledge and for mentoring those artists out. It's always great to see new people join in and just kill it with their music, you know. So.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, but I just want to say that, like, you can't, but like, you can't imagine what this stuff does for me, right? Mm-hmm. Like, because I mentioned these names now in like 2 minutes, like 2 second snippets. But like, for instance, I mentioned Tomness for a second, but I hear that intro of his track in the back of my mind. I went back to his track to check out his prompting style. I used that prompt myself a couple of times to see what it does and how it works. So, like, for me, all these people are very influential and like very awesome people to interact with, and just, it is so much awesomeness that you get from this community, man. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that we all here can attest. That's why we love the community and actually do what we do, just out of love and just vibing with people. One of the things that I have learned since I'm kind of like taking a little bit more community approach is, man, how you can connect with people in ways that it ties up to the music, you know? It's always to the music. Somehow, some way, it doesn't really matter if it's mental health or a situation happened, you can go back and tie it up with all the music, you know? So I think that's that's what's great. That's what actually brought me to AI music in 2024. It's just a way to vent and connect with people, and I think we carry that message well as a community and committee. Now, my next question.
100, Mr. T.
Now my question will be to Dassern. Dassern, let me post it on the chat. This is by a user. Oh, I post the wrong stuff. Sorry. So this is by the user Diamond Smith. How many different languages were audible in the songs performed at SSC7? What were your favorites that were in English?
Well, a lot. I don't remember exactly which languages. Sorry, I am not have a mind like Submiser. But the most one I remember are, for example, the one which was in my bunk B,
Mm-hmm.
from the Teemuth, if you know.
I heard of it.
I don't know how he managed. He did a song similar to a Barry White voice. This one was stunning, and I also chatted with him quite some days ago because he was a bit, why did my track didn't pass? I some things on the SSC, and I say I know your song was very good. And I still I don't know how he didn't pass with this song, but another one is which I remember is from Artistic Intelligence, another guy from Italy, and I also like these songs. And I don't know, maybe others can try if they remember other songs. I'm trying to remember also. If you want to add some songs, guys.
I think Zorn that he meant songs that weren't in English. By the way,
Yeah.
I don't know if you got that from the question, but
Oh, okay. So I misspelled this question. Oh, my bad, guys.
No worries, bro. Yeah, the question. Let me repeat it again. So how many?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I'm reading. I'm okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't remember some exactly now songs that are not in English. I'm trying to find someone.
There are too many songs though, so there was a lot of
Yeah,
German songs,
yeah.
too.
I bet you loved Sparviero's song. This Italian song about the little robot.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That one, I remember now. Paviero does great stuff.
Yeah, I have a problem because with the names I'm not very good. I forgot them easily. I have some songs in mind, but I don't remember the name. That's the problem.
I remember La Luce Vera,
La Luce Vera?
the Italian opera.
Oh, yeah.
We had Chinese, we had Korean, we had Spanish, of course, French, German. I have to think about it.
Old
did we
Norse.
have more? And Norse, yeah, some Norse we had also. And
Afrikaans.
yeah,
Yeah.
Afrikaans. McChat had it in his song, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's about it, I think. Not
Well, we also had Ritual of the Night from Annie,
True.
which was in
She was in the top
I don't
20,
know.
right?
Ukrainian?
yeah.
Yep.
I think she's from Ukraine, yeah.
Yeah, Annie's from the
Yeah.
Ukraine. so-
Seb, maybe you remember this one, which was the one in the opera style, but written in
Yeah,
Italian.
that was the one that.
It was stunning.
That
La Luce Vera. or
Luce
something
Vera.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Luce
so
Vera
okay.
was amazing. Yeah, I also really like. There was, I don't know. Is it okay if I just name a couple more that I really liked?
Of course, brother.
I know that I've
Take
been,
it away.
But like, I think that. Yeah, no, but it's like tracks, so I know these. And like Declaration d'Amour was really nice, was really beautiful. Number 4 Christ was like in a sort of artful language, which I thought was really, really cool. Falsche Fahrten, which was like the German route direction song, which was really, really cool. Yeah, man. And there were a lot of Asian tracks that I really, really enjoyed, like Signal Bloom or a Nymph, or like Whispers of Mokella was really cool.
Wow.
But like there are a lot of great tracks there. But I'm gonna shut up now. Sorry, I will not
I
interrupt
want-
anymore. I will take the back seat
Oh,
for a second.
also,
I
Yo.
want to add one
Be-
more.
be-
and
be-
that's
before
Elmo with
before we continue
Artista.
on, and I'll let you. There was a comment that cranked me up. Memory AI song world contest winner, Seb Meister. Now, Hawk, sorry, you can continue. My bad. It's-
No, all good, all good. I just wanted to add Ivelmo with Artista with beautiful Italian rap about what made him do music, and that's really, really a great song, and I really love the lyrics to it.
Yep. Anyway, that's or no worry. We know we
I
had
have,
you
also-
a really complicated question, but the community helped you
Another
out.
one, I don't know if someone also mentioned it, is let me try to spell it. Volksfarten from
Falsche
Little.
Fersen.
Yeah.
Falsche Fersen.
Yeah, which was our rap. Very good.
Well, perfect. Well, see, folks, we remember some of the tracks. It's only 400, so they're not that many to remember, you know. But FYI.
Yes, that remembers all. We remember some.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, Dancer, for that
But
answer.
that's maybe my problem for names.
It's okay. I'm the same. My attention span and my memory sucks, so don't worry. Don't feel bad. Now, Pantera, got a question for you. Hola. That is from the chat, which I saved, which I think it was pretty interesting. This member named Quadrico is asking, why not have a bunk week type of thing for challenges?
That's a good idea, and I don't know why we don't have it.
Hey,
No,
he said that question, Pantera. I was like, why wouldn't thought about this? You know, because I think that was a great idea.
I think the bunks are so new that we haven't used them to their full extent. It's just a new concept for us.
Yep.
Just as for the participants, we just made them because there were 400 songs to listen to, and it was impossible to showcase them all. So we were looking for a way that everyone could be heard, and that was I don't remember whose idea it was. We just said we wanted a way to find a way that everyone would get at least once be heard. And I think we will play along with these ideas and maybe take more advantage of the bunks.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Let's
doing it.
let's make the bunk leagues work more now.
Maybe we will shake on that whole concept and build on it.
Yep.
Something completely new.
So bunk leagues.
Can I actually talk? I want to share something from behind the scenes about Bunk Week, which was just like the insane mayhem that had to happen for us to actually put Bunk Week.
Before you say anything, Amitai, I just want to say the bunk leagues. If you get more work, well, you can blame Quadrico. They brought the idea to us. I'm joking. Itai, what's up, man?
So I don't think I was that active that week when we put Bunk Weeks into action. So some of the other members can talk to it, but from the side a little bit, it was something like this, like a few days before the contest is about to start, before like everything, before the first streams and whatever, maybe 2 days or whatnot. Seb's showing me with his fingers. Like this idea came up of like, wait a minute, what if we just split everybody into 10 groups and we have them listen to it? And so imagine having to do all that, set up, find people to be bunk captains, like 10 different people to be helping to organize that. We brought this question to the community, like, listen, we had more songs than we expected, and so we can do this randomly and just choose who's going to go to the showcase just by random chance, which is very fair, or we could do this Bunk Week idea that came up, right? And I think the fact that the committee pulled it off like that in like two days or whatever is insane, and like mad dash that happened behind the scene nobody saw, but it was like that. But I also think that a lot of us saw the beautiful things that came out of it, and the connections, and how the small groups really came together in different like voice chats to
Yep.
listen to songs, and people who had never streamed before pulled out their mobile phones, pulled out the playlist for the things, and just like started a voice chat for everybody to listen to the songs, and friendships that were formed, and so much more that came out of that. So I think whoever came up with that definitely deserves a raise. I saw I was gonna say that chat or whatever, but like I think it was really nice and a cool addition to SSC7.
Yeah, and just not to praise so much, Seb, but you guys didn't see him when he saw the amount of songs that came. How that guy was flipping out. Like, we gotta make this work. We got too many entries. We gotta make them work. And I think having the bunk leads was such a great idea. And having those not SSC, yeah, SSC parties, but in voice chats in the server. I was really excited to see that much activity go on, and I joined a few, and they were great. Like, I think it was a really cool aspect, and we'll certainly take that to our table and discuss it because I agree, bunk leagues can do more. I'm just saying. I'm joking. Anyway, next question will be to Hog. Thank you so much for Pantera for your answer. Next question will be to Hog. This is by the user Per Jackal. He has first, what's your thoughts on the SSC7 finals placements? And then, how do you feel about the difference in numbers of votes from week 1 to the finals voting phases?
Yeah, okay. I will start with the second part because the idea of bonus points was something I think I was the first that brought it up before the SSC started to keep the engagement high, because in SSC6 we already have seen that from week to week the vote numbers did go down quite a lot, and we wanted to keep that more or less steady. It worked pretty well, but we have also seen that after the results have been posted, then there was a really, really big drop off. And we're talking backstage a whole lot about that topic because we want it to be even more steady and go through to the finals. We don't want to have 200 voters for each week and then only 100 in the finals. That doesn't speak well for the finalists itself. So we want to keep the community engaged and have to think about how can we make that possible. So with the finals placement, yeah, let's just say from the top 10 songs, I voted for 2. I really like all the songs, but my personal list would have looked a whole lot different. But I do know that I'm very particular about the music I like and rate songs quite differently from many other people. And so I don't see this as a flaw or something. I just think, okay, my taste just differs.
100%. And again, that's the beauty of music. It's subjective. Everybody has their own niche and their own taste. So, Hog, appreciate all that answer. Thank you so much. Now, let's reset the clock again. So, Itai, it's your turn. I got a question for user Rose Kangaroo. The user is saying the topic of the difficulty of the stream has been a topic of discussion this SSC7. What is it besides having multiple jobs to do at one time that makes it so difficult? How can we improve it so Seth can spend less time worrying about the playlist? I'll leave the floor to you.
I'll answer this. Just before this stream, I saw what Teemuth has to do just to set up like the squares that you see us in and everything, and you saw a little bit of that. That's nothing. There's like so much work that goes on behind the scenes. And by the way, this is not just for the streams. This even whatever the stream to be able to have a card picker that chooses which songs to go on, or to be able to announce the results, or to be able to do anything. There is so much work that goes on behind the scenes. Some of it you might see on the stream, but some of it you are not going to see at all, because it just happens behind the scenes there, right? How do we make it easier for Seb? How do we make it easier for Dazorn? How do we make it easier for Flickerlock? How do we make it easier for Patera? How do we make it easier for all of us? Is a great question, especially as SSC continues to grow. We continue to think about this. For example, one of the things that we did, I forget which season of SSC it was, but introducing the forms for voting and creating different spreadsheets that already had formulas and checking and a lot of things in there, doing more automation for basically running more of this stuff. The card picker that we had, that I think it was some combination of Spoopus and Dazorn and Flickerlock, kind of building tech behind the scenes that helped us have these tools that allow us to run the stuff. You know, there's a lot of work that goes into it. And for example, assistants would be amazing. We had fantastic volunteers to help with the bunks and be bunk captains, and we had folks who were playing roles of moderators in the chat at a certain point in SSC7, right? So I think getting more folks from the community involved in actually helping to run, build, and contribute to SSC in different ways can be one of the ways to make it easy. But also, that doesn't necessarily always mean easier. If there's more people contributing, you need to be able to somehow figure it all out, right? So we continue to think about it. If anybody has, from the community, has great ideas or wants to contribute or wants to help in any sort of way, just DM us. You know where to find us, and we'll be happy for the help and happy to consider all sorts of ways to make this easy, especially as we grow it.
Yeah, and I appreciate a lot of that answer, Itai. I also would like to say, also just contribute. I mean, not contribute, just vibe with us. Like, we do this the best to our knowledge and the best ways to make your songs play and have exposure. And I don't mean it in a rude way or anything. I'm just saying that, hey, tech difficulties are always going to be an issue in any type of business. Happens in my career. Thanks to that, I got a job, So, hey, sometimes we cannot foresee what's going to happen, or how can we improve until we are in that spot and we get an idea, oh, snap, we can make it work this way. So my advice is, we're always going to find ways to kind of like expedite or improve the process. But if you guys see something that can be improved, since you're from a different seat, from different environment that you think might work, well, send us a DM. And if not, we'll find a way to swim if we're drowning, It's the perks of the business at the end. Now, my question will be now to Seb. Seb, this is a question by Jacob Lingard. There's two questions, but you already answered the first question, which this one is SSC8 is coming, so you already asked that at the first. Now, the second question, could track save week be removed and people automatically have a second chance of getting into the weeks, and then you have the second chance like we normally had?
Well, if I think, I think track save week was there for a specific reason this time around. I think we put track save week there because we wanted to ease the pain of not getting through bunk weeks. Because people would not know what bunk weeks are yet. They would not sort of have an idea of, hey, what does it mean to sit down with a group of 40, listen to your track and sit together. And that's why track save week was there. It was there to create a situation where we still sort of had more time to give to these songs, to have more placement for these songs, and more room to look at them. And I think it was the one thing where we all sort of knew this is not the way that we wanted to go into our future, but it's the way we can do it now. That's because basically, if you saw sort of the conversations that we had on the back end, it was about like there were games being built. It was the insanity of the stuff that we were trying for track save week was just craziness. We had 700 ideas, I think, that came by from like a Tinder for songs to all sorts of crazy stuff that we sort of looked into. So in the end, I think that we need to look at that differently as a whole. Like basically we are like with more songs getting into rounds somehow, like rounds of songs. And we still want to make sure that every song gets played in like specific settings. But I don't know like if Track Save Week will be back. It could be back, but right now I can also see us going more into a round specific thing where like you are with your group listening to tracks. Some tracks come out of that, they move on to the next section. There will be streams, but those will be like separated. Like there are all sorts of options that we can sort of do this when this competition grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think, yeah, that's what makes it interesting too. So yeah, Track Save Week could go and could become like a new second chance, and we can find new ways to do these things. Absolutely.
Yep, I agree. And thanks for bringing that up, Seb. And again, it was something that, again, like I was trying to bring to the narrative what Itai said. It's thoughts that we brought, we try it, and then if we're not going to continue, we'll decide that to the next season. So, like what happened here, we're going to do it another way. So, it's, you know what's the nature of IT and tech? It's just test and play. Use what works and use what doesn't work, you know? And that's the best we can do.
Yeah. And I also always joke with people that there's always something on fire, but on the contestant side you don't see it.
Yeah, of course.
But it is sort of like the way that this thing works, and like the fact that bunk weeks didn't exist 2 days before we entered like the competition. Like that's like very like another team would have said like, okay, no guys, we're not doing this, but we thought as a group this is a better way to do things, but we also don't want to change the rules, so let's ask the community if they want to do this and then do this together. And I think that speaks volumes. Like if you have a team that's just willing to, like for the betterment of a competition, go, hey, this is what we're doing and we want to change it. Like that is like awesome.
Yeah.
Like most people would go 2 days, it's impossible, and we just go, I guess we're doing this and just figuring it out. Like and quite literally in terms of bunk captains, we were missing 2 bunk captains 10 minutes before I had to go on stream and sort of talk about this entire thing. And luckily, like 10 minutes before the stream, we had it arranged. But it is how this thing goes. And I think that, again, that is something that makes this competition run. The fact that this thing runs on volunteers and runs this well, to me, is like very, very cool. And the fact that we do this crazy stuff is just great. Like I love it, the insanity of it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Seb, and I'm gonna confess it here live. I thought we were gonna have bigger fires when we set up the bunk stuff in such a short timestamp, you know. But hey, if you don't wing it, you will never know.
But there have been a few aspers when we announced it, and the community decided on the bunks. But those got put out pretty fast.
Yeah, by overwhelming positivity, by overwhelming sort of like positive reactions.
Yep.
But yeah, like no, you can't please everybody all the time. Like it's what it is.
If we please everybody, it will be a boring life in the world. So
Indeed.
now, rest to be. How can we help? Are you accepting new community members? Well, feel free to shout out a message to Itai, Seb, myself, or anybody of the community members, and we can engage in conversation. How does that sound? Anyway, next question. This will be kind of collectively questions, so whoever from the community wants to raise their hands, just unmute yourself. It's me, Grammy. Let me post it here first. I would like to hear from each community member their own rows and torn of SSC7? In other words, what do you appreciate the most or were surprised about the most, and what did you detest or want to tear your hair about this SSC7? Please write them down so others don't copy, but that's not apply. So whoever wants to go first, raise your hands or just unmute yourself.
Yeah, I would like to go because there's a pretty big thorn in my side, and that is that I accidentally erased the streaming video on demand for week 4, part 2. That is something I could pull out my hair over, but as you can see, there's not that much.
That's hilarious, man. No
Yeah,
worries.
and my personal rose is all the positivity from the community, because we have been getting so many positive messages throughout the whole SSC, be it in the fan art channels or personal DMs to some of our committee members or in the bunks, something like that. It was such a positive vibe throughout the whole SSC. There are always some people that feel disregarded or don't feel so good about certain stuff, but overall it was such a good and positive contest that I really love to be part of it.
Awesome. Now I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I'm gonna ask each member, and I'll give you a minute. With Seb, I'm gonna give it 30 seconds because he talks too much sometimes. I'm joking, bro. So first of all, let's start with Itai.
Okay, so my rose is Elizabeth Rose and Grammy. But no, but really, you know what? I agree with Hog about how the lovely, beautiful vibes really from the community was one of the best surprises of SSC7 for me. I think SSC has always been a fantastic place, but SSC7 stood out. Just
Cool.
you all, the participants and everything, awesome. On my side, probably doesn't matter.
Well, thank you for that, Itai. Pantera? Did we lose Panty? Oh,
No,
no, she's
no,
there.
I was muted still.
That happens.
Forgot to turn on my. I don't have a particular thorn. It was only the craziness of getting 400 songs all at once, it seems. Or I was checking the songs and checking the links and everything and writing those invitations. And then there were 150 songs, 200, 250. And I was checking and checking. And there are still 300. Where do they come from? The panic of my first SSC hit me pretty hard.
It happens.
And well, there were so many roses too. I can't pinpoint one. Maybe the one person that contacted me and told me it was really difficult to understand everything in the server, and she didn't find her way or his way. I don't know. And she spoke a language I rudimentary speak to, and so I translated always for her and explained her all the way. And she got all the way. She made all the challenges, and she was very, very happy and thanked me. That was such a nice experience for me that I could help, that someone could participate that wouldn't have dared to participate because of the language barrier.
That's
So
all.
that was nice. And one thing, Zeb, the stream we did together, the Make Us Cry stream, that was a highlight because I love this kind of music. I love deeper meanings in songs, and to make it together with you was great.
That's awesome. That's a great story, Pantera. Thanks for sharing. Dassorn?
Yeah, what I appreciate the most was seeing. I started the fan art, posting some Magic the Gathering images from some songs of the first week, And then everybody continued with their own favorite childhood game, two images of these all sort of cards, which was fantastic. And also Itai reported them all inside the fan art video. And about the Thorn, I have one, which is during the song submission check. You know when you send too many messages on Discord, and you start to see parrots, sales. I don't know how many parrots I saw in these days. Really a lot. That's the only Thorn I have for SSC7.
Cool.
But
I learned
everything was
that
fantastic.
there are 6 different captures in Discord.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Hey, sorry for the language, but they can get pretty stupid sometimes with that captchas in Discord. As for me, thank you so much, Dasrin, for sharing. As for me, my thorn is that I would have wished to invest more time, but life responsibilities and projects kicked me out a bit. My rose is that I was able to host a challenge and have mad fun and always listening to music and always the possibility of the people, you know. So now I'll leave it to Seb. That's the last one. So Seb, what are your roses and your thorns of this competition, brother? Go for it.
Well, like there are so many, and I will only name one because I want to stay within that boundary. So no, my biggest rose was all the community creativity that was added onto everything. So like the messages in the finals that came through from people, frowns and AI magician and Jonathan,
right.
like all this sort of community participation that ended up being a part of this. The I make music videos, like all that stuff that just came from the community side. Sensu's video, which is like Sensu's video. Oh my god! Like there was so much of that stuff, like the stuff that just came out of this group of people. That's my absolute rose. So like, if I would do one thing more in SSC 8, is focus on that even more. Like get more stuff from community in there, and just because I feel it made everything stronger. Like just having everyone there represented and sort of doing their thing, it is beautiful and it is lovely, and I want more. So that is my rose. I should have done this the other way around. My like just realizing that I should have done this the other way around. But my thorn, well, I think it's very my thorn is very personal. I get invested very heavily in this project, and when I get invested heavily, I get passionate, and sometimes I get stressed. And I think during these moments, like there have been moments where I might not have been super nice. Like I might not have handled things always in the best possible way. Now, but you get stressed, and you get to a point where it's like, okay, we need to now decide this, and you get short with people, and we have an awesome committee of awesome people. And I think if I would say one of my thorns, one of the things that I'm gonna be looking to for the next one is to make sure that I have less moments of stress where I get frustrated, and I say something where I go like I shouldn't have said that. So I try my best to be nice, but it doesn't always work. So that's my thorn, but it's a very personal one. It's just like self-reflection.
You are always nice, brother, and we're humans, and
No.
we can
No,
only
I'm not.
and we can only do so much. So don't be hard on yourself, brother. But again,
But that's my thorn. Again, to me, best SSC we've done so far, and I'm really really happy with all the community participation we had in this one.
Yep.
So let's keep that going.
I agree, brother. And again, don't be hard on yourself. We're only humans. So appreciate all of you from. I'm sorry, Hog. You were gonna say something?
Yeah. One thing. Next time, more people for the after dance party.
For real. Anyway,
I had to come back to not leave Sebastian alone.
Anyway, sorry, Pantera. You can go ahead.
No, he wasn't alone. I was there. I
Pantera.
never left him.
Pantera's always there. See, Hog? Don't get yourself in trouble, buddy. Anyway, community members, I really appreciate all you answering that. I know it came from the heart. Ismi Grammy kind of asked another question which is similar, so I think we all cover that on this one. So I'm gonna skip that one. Now, my next question will be to where did I stay? I think Hog. Hog is your turn. Will be by Rose Kangaroo. User Rose Kangaroo. And let me post that in the chat. Will you let other people host some or help host the streams in the next SSC?
Yeah, we have actually been talking about something like that, and it is at least a possibility to have community streaming in there. We have not made a final decision on anything, so we have to talk about it. But yes, it is quite possible to see more listening streams or stuff like that on the SSC Discord, or maybe also outside. We don't know yet.
Yep. That's my favorite answer to give to that type of news. It's a work in progress. We'll provide an update shortly. So we got it, and we'll think about it. Now, my next question, because I know Itai, this is better on your wheelhouse, will be again by the user Rose Kangaroo. The question is, what are the duties, job of each community member? Do you need more community members for SSC8? If yes, what are the requirements? Well, we need a cover letter, we need a resume, we need your last 3 reference and all that kind of crap, you know? I'm joking, Ty. Take it away.
Don't forget income of the last half year.
Oh yeah, and the link and your link ID, please, LinkedIn, so we can see all your reference.
Number. Yeah, exactly, all those things. What are the duties, jobs of each committee member? Okay, so I'll just talk a little bit about the behind the scenes. So you see some of the folks that are on screen, and of course Sebastian is there, and Hog, and me, and Spoopus, and Harley Chris was there, and Pantera was there, just like coming in to host. But really, there is so much that happens behind the screen in terms of preparing everything from lists of songs to checking songs to graphics to like coming up with rules and making decisions and having these long debates on like what should we do and how should we treat this or whatever. There's like so much that goes on behind the scenes. I would like to say that some of us have more gravitate towards certain aspects of it, like for example building the technology or building the automation or building the tools or doing the voting and like running the operations of all of that. And so I already mentioned, for example, Flickerlog, Dazorn, and Spoopus did a lot on the technical side, not just in this SSC, but in previous SSCs as well. But then also just in terms of operations, is like you wake up on, I don't know, Thursday or a Friday, and something needs to happen and it hasn't happened yet, like checking the votes or coming up with this or making an announcement and a thing, and somebody's gonna wake up and realize, wait, we haven't done this yet. Do I have 30 minutes to do it, or can I call somebody else to do it? So a lot of times we just, try to find the person that has the most time and availability to do that. Well, we all have like jobs, families, whatever other things going on at the same time, vacations. It was summer, and so there's a lot of sharing of responsibility that happens. It's not always easy, and we're always trying to find better ways to work together as a committee in all sorts of ways.
Yep.
And I think the main question here was like, do we need more committee members for SSC8? If yes, what are requirements? I think I mentioned earlier in the chat, we would love to have more help. We don't know exactly what that looks like. I think the more the competition grows, we will need more volunteers in all sorts of different ways. The way that we had bunk captains, the way that we had people hosting streams in the virtual chats. Maybe as we expand, there will be more live streams on camera. We don't know yet, but what Teemuth said earlier absolutely applies. Just reach out to us, tell us what you love to do, what you are passionate about, and we can think about the ways that we can bring that into making SSC better, bigger, and more easier for all of us to run, right? So just get in touch with us. We may have a more organized call for help, volunteers, or whatever in the future. We haven't talked about it as a committee just yet, so stay tuned. But the answer is yes. Get in touch, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, remember, people, we won't know how we're gonna recruit you if we don't know what you like to do, or even who are you. So of course we always want resources because we are drowning each time we run this contest. So by all means, be at the liberty to reach out to any of these folks, and we're more happy to talk and see, go from there.
Actually, one last thing to add.
Yeah.
We had a few new committee members this season, and
Oh, yeah.
like Hog and Superlog and Harlequin and Pantera and everything. And before we added them, we told them this is going to be a lot of work. And I think they can all attest to the fact that it really, really is a lot of work. So thank you for Hog. Yeah, you only did a little bit of a lot. Yeah,
Just to say that, like, and to mention that too. Aside from it being a lot of work, like, I also think that making sure that everybody knows what to do is a lot of work, and finding out, like sort of getting that organization around it, and usually those type of things like fall to the back. So I do want to say that, yeah. Keep in mind it is a lot of work. Keep in mind that it's also like a very complicated thing to work in group dynamics and stuff like that, but it is really fun, and it is something that, yeah. If you like high stress environments, no, just kidding, of course. But if you like environments where there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of like picking things up and doing what you can do, then that is a great place for you. But it's not just like fun tasks. It's not just like hanging out on streams and listening to music. As Hawk can attest, like, it is not just like sitting on a stream and having a lot of fun.
And you will snap at least once through every SSC.
Yeah. Anyway, big shout out to Foggy and the A Umbrella. They just rated us with more members. So hey.
Not everyone does that, Hog.
Maybe not openly.
But yeah, a few things that I want to pan out that I read from the chat. Spariero says that, just a little thought of mine, until SSC5, there were more awards at the end. More best in category were nominated. I think electing more than one song out of hundreds will make people more happy. So I was wondering, community members, what are your thoughts on that? Anybody can answer.
With the chance of talking too much. But I do want to say Rick did those. Let's start with that. Rick was an awesome committee member who always did those. Just made a list of cool, like, funny awards, and he made those lovely little awards, things that we all very much enjoyed. Rick, unfortunately, kind of disappeared, so we did not have anyone picking that thing up.
Seb, before you continue, let me interrupt you right there. So there's a need for recruiting a new member. So whoever wants to join the community can join us, and they can focus on that task, because it's well needed.
Indeed. So that was something that Rick always did, and he did it very lovingly. So I think it's a beautiful thing. But I do agree with you. I love those. I think they're great. But I think that we've talked about this quite a lot in this committee too. That, like, in the end, the SSC is all about celebrating songs. So if we can find more ways to do that, we are looking at, like, do we want to do more ways to do that? One thing that came up in our conversations with people that sent us messages afterwards is, for instance, should there also be jury awards, or should there also be things like those happening? Like, we don't have a conclusive answer on that. Like, but I do think what we like is more ways to celebrate songs. So that is like that should always be sort of the thought process that goes behind everything. So yeah, more awards is a way to do that, and more and a way to celebrate more things.
Yeah,
That was my answer, and now I'm going to kick back and.
Yeah, and my answer is something like, yeah, I love to celebrate songs, but I'm a guy that is all about trying to have it fair for everyone. And on the other side, when you put in some rewards for stuff that 3 or 4 people judge on, it's always a certain bias in there, and that's something I have to cope with, because it's something I personally don't like very much, because as far as I like my own taste in music, I also know it's a biased taste. It's my taste. So who am I to judge on what's the best rock song or something like that? So
Hog.
I really have a hard time with that.
of course, makes perfect sense. I just read that comment. I think it was interesting. So I will stop at that because I really appreciate Seb's and your response, and so we don't continue to extending that. Also, there was a good question on the chat, and then I'll go back to the AMAA question. Is again by Abel. Who is Abel? He hasn't asked any questions on this MAA. Do you think this SSC was too long? And if yes, where will you attempt to save time? I'll leave it open to you.
So I just replied in the chat that we are now asking for volunteers if you would like to delay our song to SSC9. Okay, I'll say something a little bit serious, right? We talked earlier about the fact that we see that engagement goes down the longer the competition goes, right? And of course, there's a natural physical weariness. The longer I talk, the longer we go on streams, like the longer anything gets, right?
Yep.
And so and yet there is a reason. One of the reasons that SSC is so long is that we want to listen to so many songs, right? And we want to include so many people. But I think there can be innovations in that. For example, in the way that we had bunk weeks, in the way that we split up songs into groups, etc., that allows it to be more of a pyramid shape rather than like a long kind of contest and so on. So we are definitely thinking about ways to do that. How do we find the right balance between listening to as many people as we can, but also, not asking everybody to vote in a voting hell for the entire summer. That also is a lot to ask from everybody. Right. So, yeah, I do think there's more of a balancing act that we have to think about there for next seasons.
That makes sense. And thanks so much for that, Itai. I'm gonna go to another MAA question now. I'm gonna assign it to Pantera. Pantera, this for be for Rose Kangaroo user. I have heard others mention that they will like constructive criticisms about their songwriting to help them improve. Will that ever be an option?
Well, criticizing, I don't know. They get feedback. Sepp always tells, or Hawk, or Spoopus, or whomever is on the stream. They tell people what they felt, what they liked. I don't think that picking apart a song should be a part of this contest. For that, we could do other streams, and we have them. Sepp does a lot, but you too, I think. You give criticism when you play songs. So
Yep.
I don't feel it for the SSC specifically.
Yeah,
But we can talk about it if it's wanted by the participants. I don't know. We can talk in the team and go on about and come to a decision. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Pantera. If I can add one thing is that not everybody wanna criticism. How can we know if the guy of the song want to know how we could improve a song or not. And I think sticking to the good points on a song is more favor to stick to hog most beautiful point and best for the streams.
Yep. Yeah.
For example, in my case, if my song gets streamed, I won't be happy to hear, oh, this part is cool, but I would have met him, you know. You can say it to me privately, not on a stream public. Because I did not check to, okay, yeah, I sent song, but we can say all the shit about it. You know? I think it's not cool.
I think also the SSC is not the right format
I was gonna say
to have critic streams, because not everyone would be cool with it, and when you start with it somewhere, it can go into pretty harsh territories for some songs, and so when you want to have real critic on your songs, it should always be in a special format stream that is just for that.
Yeah. I will say, just to piggyback off what you, Dasser, and Pantera said, it's like, it's not the stage for criticism or giving feedback for songs. It's just to appreciate the songs that people submit and just celebrate their sounds and whatever is great from them. If you want song criticism and whatnot, there's other streams where you can submit and get your songs criticized and provide feedback and whatnot. But this one is not the right format. Even my streams, I give my opinion, but I don't heavily criticize it, because at the end, who am I to judge? You know, to that point. So just look around, look for a spot where you want to get your song criticized in a good way. I mean, you know, not saying in a bad way, and go from there. But SSC is not the place for that. Now, jumping.
Got to add. I want still to go into the streaming format with sort of Waldorf and Stettler duo, but my partner for that is not that available still. But maybe there will come something up, and then you can send all the songs you really want to criticize.
That's awesome. So now you know. Now my next question will be directly to Dassorn. Dassorn, this will be from the user Diamond Smith. Which challenge weeks were your personal favorites that you remember, and which challenge entries really surprised you, if you remember any?
I think I have just one favorite here, but mostly because I like EDM music, which is the Death Challenge, obviously, on which I had a lot of fun making the after party playlist for the finals after party. And again, names a problem, but I'll try my best here. I liked a lot one from Neurosite, if I remember right. It was the one dubstep spooky track, dubstep spooky track. I don't remember the name, sorry. Also one which was like a salsa, maybe was called Cubana or Cuba, I don't remember, which was from Taxman, very cool. And a lot of yodeling sounds, which were very, very cool. I don't know if maybe others from the committee remember some songs.
Okay, anybody from the community that has not said, please. He remembers everything.
But he enjoyed it that while dancing.
Oh yeah, no, I know. And Seb, you can quote me on this. I think one of your favorite challenges was to make us cry, because I saw that video and you really have fun with that one in a good way, because yeah, it was sad, but you actually like how the songs were constructed. And brother, you can talk. I'm just messing with you, so you can pick it me off back of that.
Well, I placed it in the chat
Yeah.
because for me naturally it was the Make Us Cry challenge. I care about those songs deeply. I will still stream the rest of them because I really care about those tracks and I really love them. But Irolyn had a track which was about a plane that she did that the person in the song just wanted to see fly once, and that still breaks me like continuously when I listen to it. It's just a track that destroys me. I get destroyed talking about it. Like that track, it destroys me. Symbiosis had a beautifully written track, and Farag had something where he made a song about a person that I never knew, and he lost, and somehow
God.
after that song I knew that person, I lost that person, and it was beautiful. So yeah, those songs to me were special. And Pantera, you know this too, right? Like this
Yeah,
was
I remember it was his uncle, and he was a shy person. I still remember it, everything about it. It's like I knew him through this song. It's amazing. Yeah, I love this song. But I also love the collab challenge, I must add. I don't have a specific song. I just went through the songs and always left a heart or a thumbs up or something, just to let people know that there is someone who tries to listen. I couldn't listen to all of them, but there were sweet song collabs by people who didn't know each other before the SSC. We did something like putting strangers together in groups, and or in groups by two, and they worked together and made a song together. And that's what the SSC is about: finding new people, finding people who love the same thing that you love. And I found that very inspiring, going through all those collabs.
I agree. And again, that's a more test case for my hypotheses about AI music in general, that the main connector of everything is venting messaging into music, you know? So I'm really happy to hear all those stories from the community members. Really appreciate your insight on that. And I really love this MAI whatever because it also shows us that we're not just machines getting song submissions. We also have our own feelings, our own points of view, and we're human too, you know. So I think it's great for all the community members that sometimes we're under high scrutiny with feedback and some other entitlement from other people that actually see that we're just normal human beings trying to do something fun for everybody. And now, Itai, I'll leave you, dude, because I know you want to include something else. Sorry for that.
It's fun to say. I think everybody probably guesses that the dance challenge is my favorite challenge.
Of course.
But I also the song that I remember did come from the collab challenge, which I really love, and it was from 4P and Amanda. I forget the last name. It was like this beautiful kind of diving into the underworld kind of song. But the story I wanted to tell is the Make Us Cry challenge that we did for the first time. I randomly one of the days listened before we did the stream and everything. Randomly listened to just a few of the songs that were posted in our channel there. And it was late at night, and then I was lying in bed, and suddenly I was hit with this overwhelming sadness where I couldn't stop crying for a whole 30 minutes. And it wasn't any particular song, it was just the realness and the humanity and just real raw emotions that people were pouring into the music that they were creating. And it actually affected me so much that after that, we as a committee sort of got together and, you know, talked about Make Us Cry mindfully and like how to treat the kind of condensed set of songs that are all about kind of tough topics anyway. But just being there in that moment and feeling the impact of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like all these songs kind of coming in together, to me just showed how powerful the music that we all create as a community is, and just how real everything that we do here is. So yeah, just wanted to share that.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that feedback too, because people can see a little bit of humanized that we all are. You know, we're just normal people enjoying the tracks made by AI. what a time to live on, right? Now, my next question would be pointing to Seb. Seb, this is by user Rose Kangaroo. I love the groups and everything, but I felt like there was a lot of cheering or having your group members getting through was more important than the better songs. If you didn't have a really amazing group song, of course, I'm not gonna say the F word, of course. Will you analyze the votes from each group and see if there was a connection? Cause if it's not a connection, then you can skip this question. Otherwise, you think would be a good would be good to think of another way to continue after groups, having like second groups instead of weeks groups. This week's we didn't have a group chat, for example. Would that be an idea?
One, I think it's a great question, and I do know a lot of this answer. I do want to say I hope that's okay, mirror a bit of a thing Hotpot would have said if he was asked this question, probably.
Or, hey, I'm going to put a lifeline. One last chance. You can skip that question to Hog, and he can answer it for you if you want to.
Well, I know that Hotpot's really passionate about this question, so it might be better to just hand it over to him and give him the chance to answer. So I will give Hog this question as a present, if that's okay.
Yes,
of course.
Thank you. We have seen, especially when the vote numbers did go down, that a certain kind of bias towards your group members, be it in the bunks or from other servers, did have an impact. So we have to see if we can find a way to maybe reduce that in the future, because we want it to be about the songs, not the artists. And that's something we really love. We want you all to be heard. We want you all to like the music that is played, but we also want the top songs and the winners of each week and all that not to be influenced too much by outside knowledge, by friendship or something like that, but only because it's just gorgeous music. So yes, it did have an impact. More active bunks did add some points to some songs, and people that are in a big social circle do have a little bit of a bonus. So we have to try to see what can we do to make it more fair for everyone.
Cool. Appreciate that answer, Hotpot. And something that we get the data and we look through it and we're going to find ways to kind of help out. But at the end, there's only so much you can mitigate sometimes, you know. But
can I say again what I always say on my streams?
Yeah, of course, brother.
This voting is only as fair and as honest as you guys voting.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Maybe Hawk, you talked about this before. Like, there is a part of humanity that you cannot block, where if your friend has a great song and there's another great song, there is a chance that you will rate your friend's song higher because he's your friend. It should not happen. It's not what we want to happen, but it is something that does happen. So yeah, it is a complicated thing to fully eliminate it. I do think, however, the bigger we grow, the more people vote, the less these things sort of become a weighting factor. I think that if we can get more people to vote in the finals, that will definitely help. And so I think that would be something that we're going to be focusing on, like figuring out how do we get people to vote in the finals more? How do we push that thing ahead? I think there's a lot of those things that we can do to have it way less as a part of it. But yeah, it is the truth.
Yeah, we'll find a happy pathway and we mitigate the best we can. Unfortunately, We are not Bill Gates or any about that habit with those resources that we can stop everything. Even not they can stop, you know? So just saying. Anyway, my next question. Let me see who I pick. Who have not spoken so much from the community members. Let me give it to Dassorn. Dassorn, I got a question by user Coral Nijan Cat. Will Spider, which is the SSC champion, get a free pass to the SSC final as a prize for winning SSC7? It will be well deserved, according to her. So, what's your response to that?
Well, only hard questions to Dazon. Okay. I try to reply with my opinion.
Yeah, of course.
We did it something like this, not for the finalists, for the winner, but for example IOG during SSC6 we had the entrance directly in SSC7, and yes, that could be an option for Spider to get directly to finals in SSC8. He won the SSC7, so why not give him a chance to also try to win SSC8?
I got a response to your opinion, and anybody can chime in. I kind of disagree to give him that chance, and not because he doesn't deserve it. I think that what we did with the last one, who won, I think it was some sort of contest, kind of affected him in a bad way as terms and exposure for votes instead of helping them. So I believe that having the people always start from scratch helped them more in the exposure than just having them skip right through, because that will not help them at the end with the voting, if that makes sense, you know. I'm not sure how the other community members feel, but that's just my opinion too.
Yeah, I understand.
I agree with you fully. Teemuth. Like I'm fully on board with you. Just because Ojo's song did not get like the same attention,
and it was a great song.
And it was an amazing song.
Yeah.
Like it was a superb song.
And the video and everything was freaking great. But I feel it didn't got the exposure because not everybody heard it on the streams. So you just have the free pass, but then have that exposure for people can actually enjoy the track.
Yeah, and it also goes against that spirit of like celebrating like everybody's songs, where I think if we bring someone in from a previous, like it just doesn't have that same sort of celebration point for everyone, like the same sort of value that everyone gets. So yeah, indeed, I would not do it, but I can see multiple opinions, and that's what we said at the start of the stream too. Like this is how it works, and we talk about it and we figure it out. Like what do we think and how do we feel?
Cool. So yeah,
Actually, I would love to throw a question to the community now, because it just
frisky.
came up in a kind of way. So I would love to ask the community what you did think about not knowing which songs have won the weeklies. So be kept on suspense for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Now, Hog, for sake of people that didn't heard you, can you repeat that question? And by people, I mean me.
Yes. What did you think about not being shown the weekly showcase winners? So not knowing which songs beneath the top place have been ranked at all.
I kind of agree with Daywalker. It's perfect to balance, to give people a little data, but not all. So that will be my opinion.
So stress not all on our side.
But yeah, hey peeps, just comment on the chat and we'll look through that data later on, and then we'll then foreclosure our own conclusion too. Now, I'm gonna go to the next question. Dason, appreciate your response. Seb, appreciate your response on that. The next question, oh my god, do we seriously gotta ask this question? It's by our love friend Daywalker. The question will be, is SSC wanting to appeal to the industry outside the AI community or just the Suno bubble? He says, this is a loaded question with a lot more opinions attached to it, but baby steps, please. Nothing too, and nothing too in detail. And I will leave this open to anybody of the community member who wants to ask, which is not Seb, please. I'm joking, Seb. You can answer too.
Pantera. Why don't we Pantera? Pantera. Why don't we start with Pantera?
Oh, thank you. I was thinking of dodging that bullet. Yeah, to only keep the eye on Suno, I think, would be a mistake. It's not that we don't love Suno, but there are many others out there, and they make music as we do, and they are artists. I wouldn't want to close off the gates, if you couldn't say so, but at this moment we are Suno Song Contest. But maybe we could be more. Just thinking.
I like that thought.
I might pick if I might pick that up.
Go for it.
I 100% agree with Pantera, and I think another way to say it is this moment is we are SSC. SSC could mean a lot of different things in terms of the acronym. But I actually want to talk about something that was in the question about outside the AI music bubble itself, which I think that is actually a lot more important even, because like being within SSC, you get to see the incredible creativity of the community, people making songs that are just like so good. And yet, what I see often is we share it so easily within our own little bubble. We have such a hard time sharing it outside of that with people who are worried about sharing it with their friends or loved ones, or maybe even hiding what they're doing with AI music because whatever reasons. And I think that is time that we break that apart a little bit, right? And I loved seeing, for example, Seb's mom on stream, like on his song, you know, or actually my parents once watched the final. I don't know that. They just told me today on our family call that they watched the finals last week, and they dancing, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I really think it's time that all of us collectively as a community recognize that our music is just a representation of who we are. And like we often are very authentic in what we're sharing, stories about our lives and so on. And who wouldn't from our friends want to see that and hear that and listen to that, right? And so to me, that is one way that we just like break this hard shell of AI music. This is just our music that we create, and we would love to share this with our friends and family and loved ones and everybody, and also from there with the world, because there's really incredible artistry and creativity that's happening here all around. And I do think that it was listening to the SSC7 finals and just seeing how incredible of a festival it was, of just like with things like Senzu's incredible opener video that would be like League of Legends esport like tournament quality, or seeing the very human why I music stories that people that are here in the chat share, that your heart just melts to hear these stories from people all around the world, you know. And I'm so grateful to, there was this feeling in one of the listening streams that I was like, I am so humbled and honored and thankful that I get to be at this table at this little in this room with all of you and listen to this really incredible creativity coming from all around the world. And I want everybody in the world to be able to do that, you know. Why should it be just us? Why should we just share the beautiful stuff that we make with ourselves when we can send these messages of hope and unity and humanity and music and just the power of music with so many more people outside in the world, right? So to me, we absolutely should go beyond the bubble, not just for ourselves as the people within the bubble, but for everybody outside the bubble that needs a little bit more music in their life, that needs a little bit more love, that needs a little bit more connection. And through that beauty, like spread the music and all of that to the world. That is what I would love for us to be able to do.
Yep. It's a great answer, and I appreciate that response. Now, our next question will be SSCA broadcast on MTV. Hopefully, brother. Now, our next question will be by Daimanachi Tamadachi. I hope I spelled that right. During Challenge Week, Teemuth and Hotspot, I don't remember if it was me, but I'll take the credit, came up with the idea of creating a collab challenge with the entire Bunk Week group. Will the idea of a joint bunk submission representing the group be implemented in SSC8? For example, for us Sea Sharks, it would have been fun to share a Sea Shark song with the entire SS community on live stream. And I'll leave this question to Hog, since he was mentioned there.
Yes, we haven't really talked about that specifically, but I still like the idea. What we would not do is give it out as a task that everyone from the bunk has to collab, but everyone who wants to collab from a bunk can do that. And so having a song made by 5 of you sea sharks, not allowed by the way, and or 10, or maybe all of you, would be a great thing. For real. I really would like that.
Hog,
It would be
you gotta be
a
more
long song.
You gotta be more strict, like Daywalker said. It should be life or death. They need to submit to the challenge.
Yeah, it would be life or death for our little critters there in our petting zoo when the sea sharks come up and all gang up on us. So, yeah, that's the life or death situation there. Yeah, but as I said, I still like the idea, and as we're still in talks about what we do with the challenges or what we do in between the official SSCs, we will also see what will happen to that idea.
I agree, and thank you much for that response, Hog. There's still a lot of conversations happening in the back end to continue to improve the engagement through the whole contest. So, folks, don't be surprised if you see a couple of new stuff coming in the next upcoming seasons. Now, our next question is from user Sapphire Unicorn, and I gotta leave this question to Itai. Is AI artist Oliver McCann ranking up 3 million of streams on Spotify and soon signing a studio contract with Hollywood Media? Would it be likely to feature a special guest in a future live stream SSC8? Well, if we can get a hold of him, why not? But Itai, I'll let you know the question and the answers are.
So I just want to start by saying that the Suno Song Contest songs had 700,000 streams.
Oh yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that because our music also has a broad reach and everything. And I would love to have Oliver McCann join any of our streams, and I would love to have folks from the industry and folks from Suno and folks from like so many different, from some non-AI music join. And we had, guests like Matthias and guests like Matt, AY, and etc. We had some fantastic guests from Suno, of course, in the finals. But I do wanna draw a little bit of a difference between that particular story, in a sense, and what we're doing in SSC, because I think traditionally music has always been about some artists racking up incredible numbers of views and streams, and whether that's a traditional artist or the Velvet Underground AI band that some of you I'm sure have heard about, or Oliver McCann, which I'm sure is a talented artist and everything. But to me, one of the things that AI enables is the fact that anybody, anywhere in the world, can create music. And it's not just about can you have millions of streams. That to me is no longer the pinnacle necessarily of what you should be doing with music. You know, if it's not about can I have the most, can I have the best, can I have the like whatever metrics, but to me it's more about can I be the most authentic in my music? Can I tell a story that touches somebody else around the world? I happen to have went like this small contest on Suno and I got some money from it. But every time I get a single comment from somebody, it can be just like 3 letters. Wow, on one of my songs, that feeling that like something that I created touched somebody who I don't know, who was a stranger and whatnot, means so much more than numbers and metrics and whatnot. Now, maybe that's just me in my perspective. I'm sure that a lot of people would love to get a lot of metrics and likes and all. But I think the special thing about what we do is that we can all create and we can all find the audience. And I say this as a joke, everybody needs a fan. But when you find the people to listen to your music and to tell you how special it is, that to me is where the real magic is and the real connection, right? So I would love to have Oliver as a guest, but also I want to shift the narrative from numbers and winners and best of and top of and all of those things towards you don't have to be just that in order to be an amazing creator and to have impact in the world, even on one person, even on 10 people or whatever. You don't know how much you could have changed their life in with just one listen to your song. So yeah.
I agree. And to piggyback off what you just said, we just want people that just vibe with music and have great things to say about it. Numbers, the end, yeah, they can look good for your portfolio, but it's all about having good, enjoyable conversations with people and just listening to the great stuff that people make around here, which is pretty significant. Now, my next question will be directly to Seb, and then we'll go to Hog and then to the other ones. This is by Emerald Leopard. Will the SSC8 live streams be broadcast on YouTube in addition to Twitch so that the recent broadcasts are constantly deleted from Twitch? Will you learn from the loss of Week 4 live stream 2 by having several people save the live streams afterwards so that Hotpot isn't solely responsible for them? What happened in that week, it was miscommunication and an error, and we're human. It could happen to anybody. Hotpot is not blame at all for that. Twitch sometimes can be a little bit tricky. I know by experience by deleting those VODs. So certainly we learned from that mistake. Now I'll leave Seb now with a YouTube question for the streams.
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing is that you're streaming to 2 channels then. So
Yeah.
you are having double the amount of bandwidth being used to stream. So only from a technological stance, you are already using twice as much data.
Yep.
And if you look at how these streams come together, like the last streams of the SSC, we had 6 people on as guests at the same time,
Yeah.
who are all sort of sending their camera feed in through bandwidth and their audios through bandwidth, and then we are streaming that out to Twitch, and then we have all this sort of OBS stuff going on, just also all taking into account like a lot of technological stuff there.
And to add
which-
to that, Seb, multi-streaming is gonna eat your resources from your computer out. Like it's really hard. And then if you wanna do editing like you did, that you have all those videos, your computer is gonna explode.
Yeah. Well, my computer regularly explodes, and I do want to say that my computer isn't even that old.
Yeah.
So like I have a pretty decent
It's
computer, but it is like I can see 91 to 94 degrees in my my utility every now and then my my keyboard is hot, and I cannot type very easily. just because it is like in terms of resources taking up so much.
Yeah.
And I do really want to say that if you take a look at one of those final streams, you have a ton of stuff open, like a crazy amount. So there's a lot of that stuff that we have to take into account. Same with, for instance, the videos. Like, I would never do that the same way again. Like, I would make sure that they are on my PC, because as long as they're on my PC, we are not using any sort of bandwidth. We're just streaming it straight from the computer. So I'll make sure that those things happen and that we don't have any chopping or choppiness, because that's the most important part of it. So yeah, we cannot stream directly to YouTube. And as someone who has spent, I don't know, 2 or 3 days uploading everything to YouTube, like, it is a lot of hassle to do that afterward. Would I prefer it to go directly to YouTube? Yes. Also, like, the other side of it is indeed when Itai asks me, hey, did you save the finals? Like, even though I know I saved them, like, even though I downloaded them, the second he asks me, like, panic sweats start happening and, like, heart palpitations until I find the place on the disk where it's located, and I am looking at it and I start it up and I sort of see that it's complete. Then I go, yeah, I saved it. Yeah, there's a lot of panic that happens within this, and having only 7 days to save everything does not really help.
Nope.
We can change that by becoming affiliates, which I intentionally did not do to make sure that no one has ads. We can do it, but then everybody has ads and they have to do subscriptions, and I kind of wanted to stay away from that with SSC, which I still think is a fair thing, but then you have 7 days to do it. I also want to say one more thing. Hog actually downloaded them, so like they were saved, and we had all sorts of checks going in, because like I sent him another message to say, hey dude, can you check again that you downloaded them? That all happened. And then a wipe happened, like, and that's like what it is. Like, you cannot plan for everything all the time. For instance, like, I know that the finals right now, like the finals, like the results, are on an external hard drive right now, and I have not copied them to a second one, and that is already causing me panic at the moment that I'm speaking to you right now. Like, I suddenly onset panic of that is happening. So yeah, no man, just to be very, very honest, those are the things that stress us out, and are sometimes things you have to realize that I came, for instance, with the finals, I came out of a 5-hour stream, and then I have to sort of go to the stream and say, fight DMCA claims, publish it, make sure that all that stuff is done and happened, so that there's no audio being muted and all that sort of stuff. So you're trying to do a ton of things even after you come out of those very long streams.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need the space. Like right now, SSC7 on my disk is about, I think, 200 gigabytes of video. Just SSC7, and I've streamed my own streams. So like, it takes a lot of data. Where I also don't know where to put it anymore. like my disk is always filled to the brim, going, oh, I need to delete stuff again because I need to figure out how to do this. So there's a lot of those things happening. We try our best, and again, none of the people here blame Hawk for missing this one thing. It could have happened to me. It could have happened to literally anyone.
Don't be so nice on Hawk. It was his fault. So don't worry.
No.
I'm joking.
I honestly, I can't even make that joke because I know how I feel. So I just want to be very clear. Like, there's no hard feelings there whatsoever. I told Hawk, we're going to sit down and we're just going to do the stream again because I want it for perpetuity, and we're going to be doing that. Like, we're just going to be doing that one stream that we're missing because I just want to have it as a document of this was the music of like SSC7. So we'll still sit down, and anyone who wants to join, please do, because that's more fun. But yeah, no, it sucks. It happens, and I'm sorry that we can't stream to 2 places at the same time. Unless you wanna like go in with me on getting like I have corporate internet here, so I would like have to build an internet station or something to be able to get more bandwidth.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I-
sorry,
I-
man.
I
I
will-
went on a
Yeah.
rant.
No, and that's perfect.
I want to add a little tidbit because I don't get blamed by the committee at all,
No, of
and
course.
I really love you for that, guys. But I blame myself for it because it was a blunder that was done by me, and
Hey,
yeah.
don't
but
be
we
don't
will
be
try-
hard on yourself, brother. Like
No,
stuff
it's
like
not
that,
being hard
stuff-
on myself. It's more, yeah. I just screwed up, and
You
don't
didn't.
feel good about stuff like that. So
it's a lot of stuff.
nothing you can do about it. What we will do, as Seb said, we will try to recreate it in a sense. Also, the other thing with YouTube streaming, we are talking about having maybe more stream formats for SSC. So it's all a possibility.
Yeah, and I want to
Not
include.
at the same time, but to have maybe some streamers that go to YouTube or
Yeah.
Discord or Twitch or whatever the other platforms there are.
And I want to add. a little bit-
Maybe we will have a TikTok stream.
Hey, who knows? Yeah, and I would like to add also on the
For the dance challenge.
Hey, but I would love to add also to the multi-streaming issue because I'm also a streamer, so I know a little bit now. Not like I said, but I know a little bit. It does cost a toll on your computer's resources. So if you want a more optimized, I don't know if that is in a word. Maybe I just created that word, but whatever. But if you want a better, more optimized stream, having one place for this type of contest, the place is to have it stream one place, and then, of course, we can take the VODs and place it somewhere else. But for purposes of live stream, since the bit rates, since the bit rates are considered like uploads, if you have not a big connection or if your computer is ranked up with resources a lot, it can take a toll to your computer a lot, you know. So we don't want anything to affect that. And then Hog, don't be hard on yourself. Life happens, stuff happens. We still love you, buddy. So it wasn't your fault. So stuff like that happens. And Seb, you were gonna say something?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that if anyone wants to take up the task of like doing the DMCA claims and then downloading the videos and saving them and then uploading them to YouTube, like
too.
that's the sort of stuff that like new committee members who come in, like I say, like there's a lot of non-glamorous work that would be very welcome to take on. But I do want to say like that those type of things usually take the most time, and anyone who's willing to pick that up would be absolutely amazing. But I also understand that it's not the most loved job in the world.
But you're very welcome if you want to.
Very welcome.
Perfect.
Very welcome.
So I appreciate Seb and Hog commentary on that issue. Now let's move to the another question, which is by a user named Aaron Dumble Octopus. I hope I'm spelling that right because I struggle sometimes with names. This question, I'm gonna put it for Pantera. Pantera, a personal question for the committee that I haven't heard anyone ask before. Interesting. How did you experience this SSC7 in terms of emotions and experience? And how would you look back on it and compare it to previous SCC based on your own experiences? We talk a lot about the songs and the artists, but he is also curious what drives you to dedicate 3 months to this competition. Is it connecting with the community, discovering and listening to AI music, or organizing the song structure your main motivation?
Well, this is kind of funny because I am the newest member and the one who never competed in an SSC. This is my
Interesting.
first SSC.
I thought you competed in the past, so that's why I asked you this question.
No. I joined Suno last year on April or May and stayed quiet until November.
Interesting.
I knew
So
nobody.
So you have
I
a lifeline. You can transfer this question to another member if you want.
No, it's okay. I can share my experience
Perfect.
with Suno and everything. On November, I met some Germans on the Suno Discord, and we clicked right away. And we talked through the nights. We made songs together, and we talked about we want to connect, but Suno doesn't give us the opportunity. There weren't even comments on the songs. We couldn't talk with each other, and there were several communities like IMAG or other servers where only English is spoken, and not everybody is fluent in English. So we said, well, we'll do our own community. It was a crazy idea overnight, and then we did it. On late of December, we opened up a Discord server. We said, everybody who talks German, come and join. And they joined. And so we got together with Sepp. We made an interview with him, an artist spotlight.
I remember that one.
Yeah, this was a great experience. I loved hearing him talking about the music and the way he feels passionate about it. And he is part of the SSC. He's the flagship of the SSC, you could say. And that's the way I joined in. I wanted to experience this surge of creativity that you get, these connections. I was connected, but not that much, and this is the way to go. If you want to connect, go into the Discords, exchange with other creators. If they don't care if they are big or small. I began with 10 followers, and on November last I had, I don't know, 150, I don't know, and now they exploded. But it's not the numbers that count. It's just that I know so many great people. I know you, I know Sepp, I know Itai, I know Hawk, I know UT, and many others. I know my bunk people, the dumplings. Was crazy and beautiful, and that's why I joined, and that's why I stay.
That's an awesome story, Pantera. We love you as a community member as well, so we're so happy that you joined. Y también que hablas español. Woohoo. Anyway, appreciate that background. Now, my next question, this is gonna be for Dasern. Dasern, would you reintroduce public voting to motivate non-participants to become more involved? For example, introduce a collective vote called Rest of the World.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good
we
one.
already, we already talked about similar topic in the past days about possible jury voting. Spell right, jury, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not misspelling the word. Okay. Yeah, that could be another option. Like, I mean, in my opinion, we also reintroduce this voting format, so we can maybe mix 3 different type of votes, which are from the participants, which are from a jury, and also from people outside of the stressing contest. So we have 3 different ways of thinking about the songs we have inside, and could be a good addition for fairness of the votes. Complicated things are most fairy.
Let's complicate a little bit more, huh?
Yeah, it was too easy, the voting.
But I think that's actually a good idea. and I kind of concur with you, Dasrin, that we can have that vote, but separate, and then we can compare it. Because one of the risks of having anonymous or not competing votes is that there's always a risk for botting or spamming or whatever. So it's good to keep it separate to identify any patterns, and then if everything looks legit, then we can combine it and have that.
Yeah, that was the reason we removed it.
Yeah, I remember. I think I just joined that year, and then that's why we removed it. So, of course, entity is not something that we agree, but it's something that certainly we're gonna talk to it as a committee, and we'll discover what will be the best way to move forward. But that's a great output, Dasrin. So I appreciate your response on that. Now, hey, seems like 2 people added questions. So this one will be for Itai. Itai, how many fans does Itai has at his home? Will we get a full tour of his house when he's visited by a community member in Miami?
Well, it just so happened that
Who
a
is it?
committee member is coming to visit me in Miami in less than a month. So Teemuth and I are getting together in real life for the first time to put on an AI and music event here in Miami. So if you want, feel free to bring your mobile phone and take a video of how many. But yeah, I'm very excited for that event that we're gonna have, and hopefully we can stream it too. Just for those who don't know, I live in Miami. Teemuth is also in Florida, and we're getting together to put on a workshop for AI and music for probably a few hundred people that are AI enthusiasts but maybe don't know that much about making music with AI, and show them how to work with it. We're gonna have a little, maybe like a song contest, I don't know, like a challenge of like make a song and then share a few songs with us. So that's gonna be super cool. I'm very excited to have Teemuth come join
100%.
here. And by the way, it's so easy. Like, I mean, it's so easy for us to get together that, like, I'm so glad we finally get to do it after, we basically live a few hours from one another, but we've never had the chance to do it. And I know that there are so many folks throughout the world in our communities that live close by to one another. Just like go get together, play some music out in the park or at a pub or whatnot. So go and do that. You can find out so much more, not just about my fan collection, but about, I don't know, Deb's studio in Harlem that I'm seeing for the first time, or just like go meet each other in real life. I'm so excited to do that. So I hope other folks can take some initiative and find that and so on. So
I agree. I'm gonna ask one question from the chat, and I think that's when this could be a question for you, since it's more tech driven. Mateo Flores is asking a request for next SSC. Can we use uploaded songs, since it's possible to download stems and mix and mastering of our own? Also, the community members can answer there, but I think that's a good question to ask.
That's a good question, and I think it's linked to the previous one about the outside the Suno bubble. It could a possibility. The only to rest on a tech side. The only thing in my mind is that if you upload on a song, then we need a system to let you upload a song, which means time, which means we need to work on it and think about it very in a great.
And not only that, we need a place to storage
shape.
that, and that could incur
exactly.
costs.
So that's a cool idea, but it needs an artwork to make it possible.
Or you can export it back to Suno as an upload. So I think that's what you meant. So
that's okay. You can also view it from this point.
I think
we've already thought about the Suno uploads in the past once because Suno loves to add things before the SSC start. And we had the problem because I can download a song made from Suno and edit it a lot and then upload, and I think that is okay because it is from Suno, and I just edited some things, maybe mastered it a bit. But if I made a song outside of Suno and then upload it, will that count as Asuno Music.
I think that's
You
a
know?
question that we should leave it pending, and then later we can discuss as a committee.
Yeah.
And determine.
So
It's- I-
actually, we already allow uploads. There are few songs in this SSC also that did use an upload from real life music.
Yes.
But you always have to take into account that with the cover function of Suno, and if you let people upload whole songs and not only an instrument being played or something like that, that there's always the possibility that some people have have not so clean thoughts and will upload a song that is famous or has some lines from famous songs in there, some rhythm, some melody, and will cover it up until you don't recognize it as that. And but they have studio produced songs in there.
I would
And
say
that is always the thing you have to consider.
I would say let's leave this as a pending discussion with the committee, and then
Yes.
we can get back to the peeps because it entails more stuff, if that makes sense, more. Next one, I'm gonna ignore. Not I'm gonna ignore it, but I'm skip that one because it's about playing a song in live stream, and the focus here is more on the questions. I'm gonna ask Seth. I think this is your question because you listen to pretty much all the songs on stream. It's by user Asher Wolf. What genre of music do you think is missing from SSC7, or do you feel you're not heard enough, or do you feel that it was not heard enough in this competition? I especially miss K-pop music because there were only a few interests in that category. So, leave it to you, brother.
Well, there's loads, but it is very varied. So I will say, as music competitions go, I don't think it gets much more varied than this. Like, we have Viking songs, like Mongolian dance tracks, and like, so as far as genre goes, it reaches pretty far and wide. I always say I like more hip hop songs, but they tend not to do as well as though, like, we had a couple of great ones that I really, really loved. I love to see more of those. Things that I think specifically, like K-pop is a great one, a great one to bring in, for instance. But also, like, I really like the crazy stuff that lies on the edges. So, for instance, I've not heard a Disney track or like or a very musical like oriented track, or maybe I don't know. What's a good thing? I think we had less instrumentals this time, which I also was kind of sad about, because I think like it is very lovely to get a good instrumental out, some cinematic stuff there that wasn't there, but yeah, I think this is still a competition that is just about as wide in genre as you can get it. Sorry. And I think that we should just, like, honestly, bring me more stuff that is like on the outskirts, but then only because it's authentic to you. So like it is something that's really your type of music. Like in the end, if I give like one advice to what type of song should you make and enter, like the more it is you, the more it is connected to who you are, what you experienced or want to put out into the world, what your type of music, what you identify with, like the entirety of that, like the more of you put out there, the more people will connect with it and the more people will just go with it. So in genre, yeah, give me more hip hop, give me more drum and bass. Big Wayne would say, like, give me more drum and bass. But in the end, I don't think genre. This is one of the few times I've heard so many people say, I voted songs that weren't in a genre I normally listen to. I heard so many people say that. So that shows this is truly about music.
Yep, I agree.
I think that's really, really cool.
In my opinion, from what I heard, and I heard to a lot of songs in the scene, there was a big variety of music styles and genre. So I think that's a plus. And then I got one more question from the chat, which I'm gonna ask to Itai. Itai, this is by Alternative Reality Radio. When is the A plus AI flute concert coming?
Good question. I've been asked that question today already. What was the name of the world famous flautist in that? I forget always. Brad Mac something in the ARR. But yeah, you know what? I plus AI is all about combining myself with the work from the AI, and that's my process. And yeah, you know what? One day that you know what? Actually, this question probably triggered something.
Uh-oh.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. We'll probably see a billboard in Miami Boulevard. Itai, AI flute concert coming soon.
Sure.
Another question.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
If I can link now to the question before which Seb was replying.
Sure.
About the genres.
I
think you guys should not think about what does perform well or is the best. But as Seb was saying, you should think on what you like to do and what genre you like. Because think about that, if everyone thinks like that, the genre differentiation came the English term came on his own. There's no need to say we need more hip hop songs. We need more opera songs. There's no need. Just do what you like and fits you well.
Make something that's special for you, so it can become special for others.
Yep, I agree.
Don't stress too much about the performing.
I agree. Thank you for.
I used to do it when participating in SSC3. Okay. Then I just say, but why do I have to do something I don't like, but people like? I do what I like, and let's see if people like it.
Yeah, and I agree. Thank you for adding that extra. That's I appreciate it.
And at Quadrico in chat, for me personally, I don't really care if I win. I just want to give a song out to the community that I really love. It's not something that should have mass appeal or something like that. It's just something I really like, and that's why I entered into a contest.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'm answering that, Hog. And Hog, I'm gonna bombard you with another question that just came into the MAA, which is by user Asher Wolf. And the question is, what kind of topic would you like to see a song about in SSC8? Deep emotional songs seems to do well in SSC7. That's the comment he added.
Yeah, I think deep emotional songs will always do good because people can connect to it. I personally would love to get political stuff, but I know SSC stays away from that, so it's a no-go. But I am a punk at heart, so I would love to have more stuff in that direction. But I think in a more general sense and not going into the political stuff, rallying songs, anthems, things that pull people together. That's something I would love to hear more.
I agree. Why not? But please, no politics. We got enough hate in the world. Anyway, folks, we just answered all the questions that were included in the MAA. If you didn't submit a question, time is out. Appreciate all the folks that made some questions. Also the ones who commented on the chat. It's been a blast. I had a lot of fun providing this MAA with all community members and the people who participate. Before I say my last words, I will indulge and encourage my fellow community members to share the last few words for today's segment. And I'll start with Dassern. Dassern, go ahead, bud. Probably you're muted, buddy.
Yeah.
He was
I
muted.
don't understand the question. Sorry.
No. That we're gonna finish this segment, and I'm just encourage all the community members to say some last words for today's segment. So it's your turn.
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of fun actually, just being here chatting. And it's pretty late, so yeah, I'm not used to stay up until this hour, especially on before work days. And yeah, it was very fun. Yeah, I loved replying and exposing my own opinion here, as I have not the damn English.
That's okay.
The occasion to do it while streaming for SSC, because I'm not almost available for participating in stream. I did sometimes during past SSC, but nowadays it's a bit hard from my side. I have something going around my life, so
Hey,
thank you, Teemuth, for making this possible.
Of course, brother. And hey,
and also thank you to all the other committee members here.
And and I appreciate that, bro. And again, real life is always first, and we do appreciate what you do, because you may not be showing up a lot in the streams or whatnot, but we know what you do beneath the sheets with all that tech. So we really appreciate you a lot, brother. So
yeah, I'm the sweeting guy behind the scenes.
yeah, but without you, we'll probably even drown more. So don't count yourself short.
Thank you.
You got it. Appreciate having you here. Pantera, any last words?
Yeah, thank you for everyone, for your questions, for your time, for listening, for talking to us. This is very important. Without your feedback, we couldn't progress, and we want to progress and be better and make the experience even better in the next SSC. And that's the way we learn about what is needed outside of our bubble, if you want to say so.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one after a long pause, I think. And yeah, have a nice evening, and thank you to all the committee members who were here and with me. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have you on board, Pantera. You've been great. Thank you so much for your time. Hog, any last words?
Yeah, too many as always. I can't stop talking. I really want to thank everyone in the community that did send in questions, because I think the questions really have been great. And I also love to hear the thoughts of the other committee members on them. And I'm really looking forward to SSC8 after a break.
Disclaimer.
And yeah, there will be an SSC8 sometime soon. And yeah, I really love the positivity of this community, and how you all celebrate each other's music, and how you connect to each other. So it's really a pleasure to be able to help with that by being a member of the organization of the SSC. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate a lot what you did and everything, all the pressure you had in this one, helping out. Seb, any last words?
Well, to say some stuff that hasn't been said, like up to this point at least, I just want to say this is just the start. SSC is one small cog in a giant thing that we're all trying to do. I love the fact that we were talking about getting this music out more. I love the fact that we were talking about the impact that this community can have if we work together, and what we can create if we do community participation. So there's a lot of those things that I want to say, like, it is only the beginning, and we are doing so many more awesome things that are coming up. Like, I really, like T and I have been sort of saying, hey, we need to visit each other on each other's streams after this SSC. That's something that I'd love to have happen. Most of all, because I want to say you have been an awesome and very, very gracious host here, doing an awesome job, giving everybody questions, keeping this super chill, like everybody super comfortable. I think that's an amazing thing that you do, and I'm so happy that you were here to do this for us.
Appreciate it, brother.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy that I was on midnight tea. So I will the one and only tea, by the way, the number one tea. Just to have said it now, man. I really love this. Thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you, of course, to all the community, but that's been said so much that I felt like if I say it again, but I need to say it again. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it, brother. And of course, there's a future ahead of us, and looking forward for more collaboration as always. So I appreciate the kind words. Itai, any last words?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you to everybody that came to listen and to ask questions. Thank you to the community members. Pete, thank you so much for hosting this. This was awesome. These are last words maybe for this segment, but like Sebastian said, these aren't the last words. There is so much more to come, not just for the SSC8, but all this community and everything that we are collectively working towards. And I'm so glad that folks were asking, what more can we do and how can we help? Because there will be more. And so I would just like to encourage everybody, please keep your ears open. We try not to message too much in the announcement channels in the SSC Discord, but we would like to get the word out about a few more things coming up soon. So just please stick around in the various communities and the connections that you made, and continue to be there, continue to participate. And I can't wait for all the amazing things that are gonna be coming up for all of us collectively in all these different ways over the next year. So yeah, see you all very soon.
Perfect. Thank you so much for those words, Itai. Again, it's always a pleasure to have you as a community member, and also we really appreciate your dancing with all these streams. So thank you for that. Before I say any last words, I just included a form on the chat where you can submit any feedback or any questions, and that way it's an opportunity to answer any more questions, or if you don't have a chance to be here, or let's say, for example, you watch the VOD and you're like, oh snap, I should have asked the question. Well, that's your chance, you know. So I'll submit it again so people can have it there most updated. So please, I encourage all of you to use it. From my end, it was a pleasure and a great experience hosting this MAA session. Again, like I repeated myself on the question, my thorn is that I couldn't be more active on this, but unfortunately, life kicks you on the butt whenever you don't think so that much. And also the time zones kind of sus a little bit. And sorry for the language, but it's the truth. But other than that, it's been great. I really feel the love a lot from the community, and especially something what is hosted with a good positive mission is well received, like we have received. So again, I encourage everybody to participate in all this SEC or anything from the community. You might be hearing more from us, from Seb, for any community members, for more collaboration. And remember, at the end, there's no competition or anything, just healthy competition, because we are in this together. And what better weapon we are if we're all together and combine positive, chill vibes, you know? So on behalf of the SEC, I wish everybody had a good weekend. Not sure if it's already your Monday. If it's your Monday, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm still got a little bit of Sunday, you know? But again, I wish you the best for your weekend, and have a great day, and have a great... Keep on creating, man. Keep on creating weird stuff, and don't worry about genres there, because just do whatever you want to do, but makes you happy, you know, at the end. So that's all on behalf of the SEC members. Have a good day, everybody.